All right. Citizens United, my name is John Restaino, and you see who's sitting next to me, Noelle Del Zappo. Hi, Noelle.
Hi.
How you doing?
Everybody knows me right now.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Good, how are you?
definitely. Beautiful outside today, huh? Hot.
Oh, my God, yes.
A little hot, though.
It
Humid.
is. Yeah, the humidity I don't like, but everything else I do.
Yeah. Robin's here, of course, but she's sharing. You'll be hearing from her later. John's in the background. You hear from him, and, of course, from Gold. Yeah, Gold Gutters on Friday. He's here with us. Wade, hello.
Hello.
How you doing over there?
Doing good. How are you guys today?
We're all right, right?
Yeah, good. Waiting for somebody to take you up on the boxing match.
You did a great job today, Wade. This is a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
As we, well, first I want to say something real quick.
Information to give tonight.
A lot of information. On a different note, I got to say, from Citizens United with John Restaino and Gorillas Inc., I do have to say condolences to the Anello family for the passing of Vince, and I hope everyone, gets through this tough time.
Yeah.
Last night...
It was wild.
Yeah, last night was there was an imploding, it was just, there was I don't know what the hell happened, but they kind of, and when we say they...
Jeff got a little ticked off because he doesn't like people saying the truth and exposing everything, and he thinks that he's running his sister's campaign, and he can't handle thinking that there will be a loss because of how horrible his sister and them are.
And they bring it on themselves, though. We've said it a million times. We've said this a lot, Wade. People don't understand. They bring it on themselves. They earn every bit of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They earn it.
They get what they deserve.
Yeah.
This is what they deserve right now.
Right.
And they earn it. And they're given so many opportunities by Noelle and by others to just do something different.
You guys too.
Just stop. Just let's could have made all kinds of different ways. This could have went a whole bunch of different ways, easily.
They could have been heroes. They could have been heroes if they would just would have, not victimized rape victims.
This was happening before.
And we were outside of her fundraiser.
Yeah.
She could have came out and spoke to you and
Sure.
not a word.
It'd have been on video too.
Besides a finger and a fuck off.
Right.
Yeah, she's in her. I don't know who the one guy is with the beard almost touching the sidewalk, but he had a mouth on him too. So, I don't think people realize though that me and Janelle have been, this was an issue with Janelle before the campaign, way before announcing the campaign. So the thing is with her is she tries to say it's like, I'm crazy, boo-hoo, poor me, I'm the victim, Noelle's crazy, but she does all the stuff behind the scenes so people don't see it. So, I'm outspoken about it, but...
Yeah, you just, like I said, it just feels like, you have this race. You got Faso, Saraceno, right? We got a Republican primary. Yeah. Chris Mazur's waiting. And Chris Mazur should be sitting there very happy because he can just watch people just beat each other up as he sits there and doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
But, Dominic has done, I think for him, he has shown what it means to have, I always say maturity, but I guess it's more than that. It's just a level of what you are. It's almost adulthood, but it's not even, because a judge is no different than any other human.
Right.
You can't look at them like they're gods or anything else. They're just like a normal person, but he's just showing you how you act. How you would act anywhere in life.
You know what bothers me is that, I feel so bad because I just had a feeling like as soon as one of them seen that I was, I wanted to vote for Saraceno, they were going to give him hell or try to start issues. And then you start seeing people like Stefan commenting under his stuff, and then, Janelle stealing the, what did she steal, that one line? What was it? Oh, experience matters.
Right.
It's like, you dumbass. He's got 10 years over you.
You just could have had a whole different, like we said just a few minutes ago. And real quick, and I know I'm going off track, Wade. Just hold on 1 second, though. I just want to tell you something. We're going to find out somewhere in the show what happens at the city council meeting. This also is related to what's going to happen to the it's one of the biggest things next to the golf course we have in Niagara Falls, the pavilion, the ice pavilion.
Yep.
And there's a guy, Gene Corella, who's owned it for 7 years, done a great job there, but the 5Js are coming to try to take it away. And the 5Js, of course.
Is that what they call themselves, the 5Js?
Yeah, that's their incorporation. And it's the Faso family coming to, and we're going to see if they're going to get it tonight.
Other corporation, the 5Js.
It's like a boy band.
Yes. I don't know what to tell you. But yes. And,
and
we'll find out tonight. Hopefully I hope the city council tables it and gets to look into this further.
What's the reasoning for the person that's been there for 7 years not?
There was, I think, a contract goes up, and then there was a bid, an open bid, and from what I've heard now, I don't know, this is rumor or something about that they might have had their bid might have been higher, the 5Js, but obviously, but this other guy has put $100,000 into it. He's doing a great job, Corella, and he's got like a great league going there now with 350 kids, so money's being made. Yeah. And he's going to, if they toss him out, I mean, he's going to take everything with him. It's all his equipment.
Do you know how much business they're going to lose?
I know.
Do you know how many people will not go there anymore if that's who takes over?
And it's just funny, and the reason why I bring it up, I know we're going to get into different stuff here, but I want to hear, at some point we probably will hear what happened there. It's part of the whole, it's a part of the whole story, because it's what it is, man. It's people thinking that they are... they were born into it. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. One thing too, that's what bothers me is that you hear like when other people are questioned, like what makes you want, like why do you want to run for judge? Hers so far I've seen every time, well, because my brother and my father were judges, and I think like you think you're owed it because of your last name, which isn't your last name. So.
I've been there with that last name, of a last name.
They're going in there with a trying to save the ice rink or anything like that.
It's just takeover.
Just going to steal it.
Yeah, just a takeover.
Who's been there for 7 years and who has done a good job.
And
that is another.
They claim to have. Listen to this. They claim to have 25 years of experience, but it was incorporated in September 2020. So I don't know where that is. But I mean, it's just. It's just.
A hockey game back in the day.
And one of them worked for the Sabres.
For the Sabres.
But he wasn't doing. I don't think he was doing the Zamboni. Yeah, he wasn't putting the boards up, or
janitor?
That's about it on that. But I just want to hear what happens tonight, and it'll be a telling thing because the mayor put it up. It's the first thing on the agenda tonight, and
let us know on the message
you got
board
five,
if anyone out there hears
right?
it.
You got 5 people there, right? And we know one thing real quick. Soda, he's a million years old, and my brother put him on, and he's going to vote with him. Spanbauer will vote with him. What are the other 3 going to do? Kennedy, Tompkins, and Vascio. And Kennedy and Vascio, of course, are in that other race for legislature with Tim Heather.
And that's what's coming on our show next week.
Bill Kennedy will be on next week.
Oh,
yes.
You mean Vascio, the one that Nick D'Angelo was like endorsing?
Yes, and the one that, and he waved at us.
Oh,
yeah. He won the Stanley Cup. He was really fired up, and he was
very happy.
Conn Smythe winner.
Fundraiser.
Great guy.
All right, so let's talk. And unfortunately, we were going to have Kay was going to be here, who was our guest, because we wanted to bring her back to say, like, okay, last week was a big deal for her, huge deal.
Oh yeah,
she spoke out for the first time, and
so
that
good for her.
You guys know what that's like, right, Robin? I know I've seen what it's like, but I know I can see what it does.
Well, especially when it happened to you like as a child, and that's how long you've been holding it in for. So.
Yeah, and so she did that, and what we were going to do is, and I think we can figure a little bit out because you've talked to her.
Oh, yeah.
What happened? What happened between last week and this week? Let's a refresher. Yeah.
So
go ahead.
Deputy Hugh Messer, he's a 13-year employee. He was placed on unpaid administrative leave, and departmental charges will be forthcoming. Sheriff Beeline said Thursday afternoon in a release statement, the 42-year-old Town of Niagara resident was arraigned before Justice Thomas Sheeran in town at Lewiston Court and released on a $1,000 bail. And that was because Messer was charged with third-degree sexual abuse, public lewdness, 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child, and 2 counts of official misconduct. And if you guys don't know who the past Deputy Hugh Messer was, that is Janelle Fasso's husband.
Yeah, and
currently.
How was she done this week? How's it gone that you know of with Katie? Kay, I'm sorry.
She's like feels so much better now. Good. Because it's that's been bothering her for so long, and the amount of support she's gotten, she said she didn't have social media back then, and she thought like this was all forgotten about. She thought, a lot of people didn't believe her, but the amount of support, like so many people just since back then, last week they've been inboxing her like crazy and all that. And, it's great that finally she got to tell her side of the story, which is 100% the truth because it's...
and it makes a world of difference.
Yeah, like just to see the support.
What puts you on the path from being a victim to a survivor is acknowledging your story and being able to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's, and I mean, and to have all that positive, that's great. To have positive, and no one came out and tried. Well, no. And that isn't even funny. Yeah. But,
Fredo, Jeff Fosso?
That's something, yeah.
My bad, Jeff.
But, I mean, it's just, she had a lot of good positive, and everyone should be happy about that, except for some. Let's bring up a thing here, Wade, and you can read it for us.
This comes from... One second.
Yeah, this is something that we, unfortunate that's not everyone was as happy. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is representing Catherine, and giving her a second chance remains a highlight of my career. Helping people was the reason I wanted to practice law in the first place, and it is the same reason I want to be a judge now. And this was from, I believe, the sister-in-law of Kay Lewis, who was on the show last week, saying, I'll never forget you representing me and helping me to prove my innocence for free. You helped me start the beginning of my new life with a clean slate. However, grateful. Released right after during the show.
Yeah, I don't. It was definitely between now and between the two shows.
Purposely.
Yeah, purposely done. Noelle, can you tell us a little bit about that? Meaning, like, so that is her sister-in-law or baby's mother?
Yeah, that's like somebody she, on the other side of, I think, the family, and Janelle knows that. Basically, it's a situation where Janelle knows that would get to her and irk her. So she tried giving her, like, a slap in the face almost, but I don't think at this point she can give anybody a slap in the face bigger than what Kay just gave her. So.
Yeah, no, that was dirty. That's just like a poke, and that's one of those things that just.
She is. It doesn't want people to think.
Yeah, it's what we were talking about earlier. The difference between, I believe, her and Saraceno.
Yeah.
That's the difference. It's the know when. When to do something. When do you just when do you back off?
I've never seen him be unprofessional yet. Not once.
No, because it's just different, and I don't understand what it is about these guys on the in the Faso group. I don't know why they haven't just been able to understand. Sometimes when things are coming at you, no matter what they are, the best thing to do is be quiet. Because sometimes it'll blow over, or sometimes you can just... You just don't engage, right? I mean, that's what you would do. Wouldn't you, Wade? You ran. I mean, wouldn't you just, you ran for office? No, but just say anything. If someone took... let's say... something from your past... I don't know why. It's just hypothetical. Hypotheticals. Sure. You either answer it like an adult... or be quiet, or just
if I was involved with half of the things,
just wouldn't run.
I wouldn't run.
Right.
Like what the fuck? Like the Faso should be embarrassed of this.
Right.
I'm curious. We're gonna bring up in the story later on in the show how Jeff Faso stole a shitload of Christmas presents from people, including his own father, who was town justice at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is wrong with this family? Mom said it great, Noelle. The Messers and Fasos, they're so fucked up both sides. They belong together.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What bothers me, I think, the most is we know that everything we're saying is true and right, but it's almost like what pisses me off is that she plays victim so well when she's the biggest liar, and she's like a horrible person, just dirty, and she tries to play victim. It's like that's disgusting.
I just can't understand it, man. When you have, like you just said, Wade, you know what you got. Now this is stuff we didn't have to make this up. This was easy. This is right for us. You know what I mean? This was easy stuff to grab off the internet. Right. The stuff we found. I mean, this is public knowledge. We didn't have to. No one gave us this like a hidden thing. I mean.
Oh, except for this thing. Let's pull
up
this
okay.
Thing, the most very disturbing.
Yeah. Oh, this one.
Yes. Please explain. One of you guys.
Well, all right.
Sorry.
I'll let you explain this.
By the way, Mom, if you're watching this, you got to call Ryan because I'm not home right now, so you can't really drop the kids off. So just let you know. Oopsie. So this was Janelle trying to be like Nick D'Angelo, just the way she always is. This is called threats. It's called scare tactics, is what everybody said. So she's basically threatening to sue and make them be afraid of a non-disclosure agreement, saying your family signed that. Well, you know what? Maybe, I don't know if the parents maybe did or something like that, but regardless, that wasn't the parents saying anything to her. So she's saying that knowing as a lawyer, it's not their
Janelle
parents.
is saying here that in a message to Kay Lewis's
Like, I think cousin?
Cousin.
Yeah.
That the family is going to be sued because the family signed a non-disclosure over the rape of Messer.
Right.
So
And then admitting it. You just admitted it right
just
there.
admitted it. And not only that, I believe there was I could be mistaken here, but a payoff basically. Here's money, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
And
it was too little. Yeah, that was a small.
And that's a Nick D'Angelo
fee.
move, too.
Yeah.
And there was some developmental disability from the mother's side. Father, I heard, was,
Right. And issues,
drug
yeah.
addict, and they're getting a few $1,000s to shut their mouths. Well, guess what? Kay doesn't have to shut her mouth.
No, she doesn't.
Right.
She was
from-
16 years
Right.
old
Yeah.
at that
She was
time.
underage.
She didn't get a dime of that. She doesn't need to shut her mouth.
And she said,
for
too-
Janelle to do this is fucking disgusting, and it shows guilt.
And not only that, but she said Janelle was prancing around the courtroom while Kay was told not to speak at all. She was just laughing, kind of like what it said about D'Angelo. He sat there in the courtroom while the victim was upset, crying, and he was sitting there smiling, laughing with his parents. But also what Kay, I've heard this from multiple people before I even met Kay or know who Kay was. Janelle signed that false affidavit trying to get her husband out of the rape charge. Now, that's low. And that just proves exactly like how today. That leads up to what she's doing today, trying to mess with my case, tamper with evidence. And she's been doing that since 2006. And she expects people to shut up.
Yeah, I mean, it's at this point, if I were to be a political, they hire people, analyst, whatever you want to say, you'd almost have to say it's lights out. It's time to pull the plug. I mean,
Kay actually just sent me a message. She
Okay.
just wanted to clarify one thing. She said it's not developmental disabilities.
Oh, my apologies.
It's mental illness.
Okay.
My apologies.
yeah, but I'm saying right now, as we are so close to this election, I mean, geez, what more can happen here? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what more? Everything is just out there. It's not like I said. No one had to do any recon work. No one had to dig. Yeah. I mean, it's all just there.
Public information.
It's Google.
You know what's really upsetting is if you know that if you know her character, you work alongside her. How can you support her?
Right.
This was I'm pulling up something.
This
right
is
now. This is
double.
Kay Lewis's attorney,
Oh,
who went after Messer, But this is what she has to say about Janelle Faso endorsing her.
Women
I had the pleasure
supporting
of working with Janelle Faso for several years. Janelle is smart, hardworking, attorney who takes a practical, no-nonsense approach to resolving her cases. Are we talking about the same person? But how the hell can you know that case?
That's the thing, really.
Do this.
That's
knowing what happened.
It's despicable, man. Yeah.
Do you have amnesia?
Right.
What the hell are you thinking?
They just
really hope she
always
feels like
thought
shit.
they just always thought Kay would not speak or come around. That's what had to be. That's the only way you would do it, right? If you just had to think you were never. That was like a ghost you weren't going to see again, because she was a kid and of course she was a minor and she left.
And to feel so victimized that you have to move states and states away.
Yeah, they were like torturing the girl, trying to make her life miserable. And you know what else? The only reason she put that up about, and Kathleen did that to her as well, is because they seen Kay on Facebook starting to talk about it.
Right.
That's another try to pull a shot at her.
Well,
Child.
excuse me. The funny thing is, though, once again, if I was a political analyst or somebody who's helping the campaign, you know what I say when Kay starts talking? If I'm be quiet.
Yeah,
let
exactly.
her talk, because you know what, she's the let her talk.
Don't make Jeff talk.
Yes, and if you just shut up. And I'm trying to be talking like I'm trying to help the fossil people.
Yeah.
Shut up. Right. Just let Kay talk, because it's only helping her. It's helping Kay. You know, it's really for her. It's to help her, right? We know that. It's to help her.
If it's not true, why are you going so
just
hard?
Just be quiet. We know, and you know what, though? We know
immaturity.
And we know it's true, though.
Like adults.
They can't say it's not true, because it's all there for us. And they admit it. And he pled, unfortunately, guilty to only a misdemeanor.
Yeah, on our two girls lying that never even knew each other.
That's what's so fucked up here, too. You know, let's see, when we bring these charges back up of Messer was been charged with third-degree sexual abuse, public lewdness, 2 counts of endangering the welfare of a child, and 2 counts of official misconduct, and he only misdemeanors out of it. This guy could go to a different state and become a police officer again.
Yeah,
and this is bullshit.
Yeah, and $1,000. He got $1,000 bail.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I mean, no disrespect, but Nick got nothing.
Nothing.
Anyways, he got our award. But anyhow, and this is just, you're right, it is bullshit. It's ridiculous. Misdemeanor? There should never be a misdemeanor for these types of, any of this stuff.
I don't like how they put in there, too, at one point, consensual, when you know damn well, that's why you got in trouble, a minor. And that's the whole thing. Why they can't consent? There's no such thing. Yeah.
And Kay told us.
The minor.
Saying something, she's still not in the position to be. You shouldn't be okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll just cross that one out. And
if I recall, last week Kay said, you know, when she talked about being restrained, she talked about all that stuff, handcuffed, you know, all that, saying no, it wasn't, and that was just. Those were words put into her mouth. Yeah. Because she had nothing to say.
She couldn't speak either.
They trapped her in the room, she said, and the school, they didn't want to talk to her parents. The police also had to be involved, because he was right outside the door.
They didn't want bad publicity at all.
And I mean, this is
and the person who is caused all this abuse on you is right outside the door.
Right.
In your high school. How do you feel as a victim right there?
Oh, and you're a kid. It's got to be just.
You can't talk to your parents, apparently.
You're told not to talk.
And they don't think that they're scared. Like, I mean, what bothers me too is I've seen so many parents defend Janelle, and I think that's what bothers me the most. Like, I'm sorry, but that's disgusting. You can't sit there and tell a victim or somebody, even if you don't believe them, if they're trying to say something. I don't care. That's somebody's child. They're trying to come out and say what happened to them. And then you're sitting there not knowing the whole truth of the story, saying, oh, nope, Janelle's a good person. I don't care. Leave her alone. But if that was your child, that's exactly why. If your child ever got raped, and who knows, they might have been raped, and they look at you as a parent right now and say, well, my parent won't believe me, so why should I speak up? No, that's shitty. That's trash.
And a good person doesn't do this.
No, they don't do that.
A good person does not send that message saying we are going to sue you guys for the non-disclosure.
I'm going to play a fossil. I wish if they tell me, what would you do? Here's what I would do. If I was her, that's definitely not what I would do. No. I would have like I said, I'd let Kay speak, because it's her therapy. It's helping her. And what I would have done if I was if I was Janelle, I would have said something positive about Kay. Wouldn't that have been something smart too? Like, just have said, you know what, I do. You could have said, first of all, you support the victims, you support all victims, but also, it's good for her. She could have easily said that. I know it was her. We know.
Yeah.
We know what she did. We know all that. Could you imagine, though, if she'd have said that? If somewhere in
cover up instead of covering up.
Yeah, right. You would have just put the fire out.
Yeah.
You could have said, look, all right, good. I'm glad this girl, thank God. I hope she gets the help she needs. And even though it might have been, we might have still not liked it because it was after the fact. But you get my point.
Right, like, it could have been. Sorry, I'm sorry that happened to you. Yes, that happened. But if you need to talk to me now, and so if you want to get together and talk about it now, I'd be more than happy and explain things. Like, that's all.
She's got to feel just as fucking guilty because she
she
talks
is.
about it when
you got something?
Okay. Her husband did this. That's when she fucking talks about it. That's when you don't stand up for your fucking husband.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect my wife to stand up for me, just as I wouldn't stand up for my wife right there. You did something against the law and you fucking hurt me.
Like that.
You did everything,
What do you got, Robin?
I have Michelle Lewis on the message board.
Okay.
She's a relative of Kayla's. She said, I'm family and was there firsthand. I didn't sign a disclosure, and her parents were in no way emotionally or mentally stable. Her mother had a severe mental breakdown due to what happened with Kayla to even understand or sign anything legal. And their family attorney never advised that Kayla is a minor and sex crime victim should have been assigned a child attorney to represent her, which was never done.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, I mean,
Yeah, they
thank you.
forget to leave that
Yeah,
shit
so
out.
She gets a fucking attorney who is now endorsing Janelle Foster.
Yeah, it's women supporting women. I hope you guys feel embarrassed.
I just know, like, I can't believe, though, these people have run races.
Yeah.
Like, they had the one brother wins. He's a judge right now, so he ran this race already. How don't you know how to stop a disaster when it's coming at you?
Yeah.
You see a train, it's gonna get you because you're running. Right. You're running for something. It's coming. You know what you did. You know what happened. You couldn't think of a way to figure out. Let me see how I can at least make myself not look like what's gonna come out here.
Yeah, you got a history. Do you really want that to come up? And plus, I'm already on the bench. Why would you? You know what I mean? Give somebody else a turn or something like that.
It's aggravating because to me, it's so, you know what it is? It's arrogance.
Yeah.
Because if you weren't that arrogant, you would know that, okay, you know what? Okay, here comes Kay. And she's going to tell her story, man. And she's going to tell it. And she's going to get time to tell it, and she should.
Yeah.
And she got positive feedback. And instead of just either shutting up about it, you could have come forward and said, all right, thank God, God bless her. You could have said all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
That maybe it was hollow. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It would have put out a fire.
Right.
And I don't understand these people want a fire.
Yeah.
They want this.
They're so used to getting away with it.
Yeah.
Well, they've run supposedly on their good name,
But
which isn't
that doesn't
good.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've only diminished it themselves.
Right.
Everything they've done has made them look
Yeah.
Look it.
more and more.
Because they
Robin,
do favors
more and
for
more.
people that they know, but nobody wants to discuss the fucked up things that they did do that was 10 times more fucked up
Right.
things than helping somebody on the side, a friend on the side.
Right.
No, that's just being a piece of crap.
Faso, right?
Yeah.
Restaino. That's our last name. It's my,
Yeah.
come on. You know what? If you wanted, let me this way. If my brother wasn't mayor, and I'll say this: if me and my brother had a good relationship, I could run right now and I'd win as council.
Yeah.
Easily with my last name.
Yep.
But with my last name, you know what I've done? I've been given jobs, great jobs, like in the summer, like when I was a kid, like 16, jobs that my other friends wanted. Like, it was great. I get to work at the parks. I get to work at all these places. I even got to work at Cave of the Winds, all these different places. Cool places. Yeah. But every time I went there, even with my last name, you know what you do? You shut up. And you listen to your boss, and you listen to what they even though the boss's last name might be who the hell knows. Right. But you listen to them because you know why? Because you don't want to embarrass anybody. Because the whole point is, my father got me this. Right. I don't want to come in here and act like a jerk.
Better than everybody.
Yeah. Working. I got to work at the wastewater treatment plant in the summers. That was a great job. Yep. But you shut your mouth and you do your work. Yeah, John, you were there.
You are a respectful person.
Yeah.
These people, they would be at that. The kids that when they're having jobs at them parks, they'd be saying to the boss, "Fuck off! Do you know who my dad is?"
I know.
Right.
Exactly.
They should have come talk to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could have gave them some tips because you don't have to be this way.
No.
It's not. It would be easy to be what you need to be in
Look
this.
where you are right now.
Yeah.
You are sitting here and you are exposing all this corruption, everything you guys know about that nobody else in the city that should be exposing it is. And I think you have the most respect from everybody than the other people.
Think about it. Every single one of them is fucked up somehow.
Oh, yeah.
Every single one of them is corrupt and rotten. And
Robin. Yeah. I know, but the point is, though, let's look at this race. Right now, it's between Saraceno and Fossil, right? Mm-hmm. And it's for a big position. It's our biggest position in the city. It's the most important, and it's the highest paid. I mean, it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
We know that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how you think you're going to go about winning,
Yeah.
winning this is in this way. You knew before going, this is what drives me nuts thinking of it politically. You knew going into this what has happened through the years. So when you go to your notebook and say, hey, let's write down, you could even do pluses, minuses. And on the minus side, you got to put shit that happened to you,
Especially
through
what's
the years.
going on right now with just
Right.
the D'Angelo thing in her. You think she knows she's in
And that's
trouble,
another
you
one
know?
she could have easily fixed.
Yeah.
From day one. Oh shit! I didn't know if
I'm
he's doing
sorry.
that.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I can do whatever I can to help you guys and get this under control. But no, instead, actually, still to this day, I just spoke to somebody a couple days ago. They actually, I'm not going to say who, has her as a lawyer, and this person has no reason to lie to me. He's like, it pisses me off, and I do like the family, but she just sat there and flat out told me that Noelle's still to this day, she's a liar. The other girls are liars, and
Right.
I don't believe them one bit. They're just scorned women, stuff like this. So still to this day, but
38 of them?
oh yeah, 38 that don't even know each other. And another thing, I really liked the answer Restaino gave the one day he was on your podcast that she could have went on. When Wade asked him about the money thing, and his answer was, it's not about the money. I've accomplished everything else I wanted to do in life, and this is it. This is what I want to do. So what's Janelle's? Oh, my father was a judge, so I want to be judge.
I told Saraceno that that's a pretty damn good job.
Yeah.
2 days out of the week, get paid upwards of close to
200 grand.
a
And
year.
10 years.
Great job.
10-year term.
And then his response was what I wanted. His response was, "Well, I'm not going to be working 2 days a week. I'm going to be
Right.
Involved in the community,
Okay.
doing as much as I can with."
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have gave you a different answer. He just
It's so
being a person that's going to help a community.
Yeah.
right.
Robin?
Bill Nye on the message board said D'Angelo is in court tomorrow. Is that still the case, Noel? Do you know?
I heard it was either tomorrow or Friday. So
Right.
we'll see.
That's what we've heard.
Yeah,
We've
tomorrow,
heard all
Friday.
different. But isn't that to see if the cases are going to be split or not?
Yeah,
Tomorrow,
to see if they're going to do separate trials. I think so.
And I hope they don't. We
I
want
really
them all to
hope
be
not,
together. Yeah.
because you know what
They pick out. Yeah, I know what they're going to try to do.
Yeah, and he's
That's
given Nick so
intimidation.
far every single thing him and his lawyer has
Right.
requested so far. I mean, I've had people message me so many times, how does he still have his job? How, who, it's not even, I've talked to so many people who work in the justice system, said they've never in their lives seen somebody with as many charges as he has ever be ROR'd. It's just not
Right.
ever, it's unheard of.
It's unheard of. And
You can't associate how his godparents are with Cosmos.
Yeah.
I understand it.
Oh yeah, that's what I heard too.
Nothing there though. There's nothing there that we
Right.
should be talking about.
Oh yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, the stories that everyone's been doing lately too, like and then you'd think somebody would. I mean, everybody sees this story, but it's like they're
Right.
afraid to touch it because they're afraid of these people. But then here you are, you guys are like news reporters and all this stuff. But then here we are, like we're people that do podcasts and stuff, and we're the ones who have the balls.
that
to
is
talk
crazy.
about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're people that are just we're not journalists.
Right.
Nothing. But here we are.
We don't
And
know
we're
work
doing
than
it. And
journalists.
no, I mean, yeah. I mean, we've done it on a lot of things, on a lot of issues, right? I mean,
Oh,
we've done
yeah.
a lot of things in this way. And, geez, I don't know why the Gazette, I don't know. I don't know why they would consider this not a story. We were just talking about, remember
Oh,
before?
I know why.
Yeah.
For one of them, Channel 4 News, I know why. What their thing said, as soon as they heard that Nick D'Angelo runs the Niagara Action, it was, well, unfortunately, they share a lot of our stuff. Oh, so Channel 4
Wow.
News, you'd rather have a serial rapist up on 12 rape charges, share like 2 articles for you a month than get probably the biggest story ever around here and get more,
Oh, it's a huge story, and it's a story that could go on and on. Like you could have a series of that. Like
Oh, yeah.
it evolves constantly.
Yeah,
And
the
here,
number one watch news station.
You get favors for sharing things.
Yeah.
yeah,
Shit, I've probably shared your guys'
You
stuff
start
before.
sharing.
Where's,
Yeah,
my, where's my credit?
we got to take a break, don't we? It's commercial time.
We'll take a commercial.
All right, why don't we take a break? We'll come back with a ton more. Let me see if I can find out what happened at the council meeting too while we take a break. Yeah, no problem. We're here. We're looking around for the Hold.
Keep going.
No, okay, keep going. All right, I'm going to try to figure out what's going on. We've got that council meeting.
Yeah, I've been told by a few people that this was happening. The 5Js thing. And,
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was told a couple weeks ago too about that, and that's just another brick in the. Are we ready? Okay, we'll be back.
We'll take a quick break.
Yep, we'll be back.
Hello, folks. I'm Kevin E. Alyo, candidate for the Niagara County Legislature, District 11. I want to invite you to a one-of-a-kind, only, official virtual town hall on Thursday, 17 June 2021 at 7 p.m. Ask your questions, get your answers, become an engaged and informed voter. Learn the tumultuous political legacy of Niagara County. If you don't know its history, then the question begs, why be a candidate or even vote? Learn more online at Niagara District 11 Kevin.org. That's Niagara District 11 Kevin.org. I'll see you there.
A judicial election is not about political affiliations and party politics. It's about the right experience and qualifications. That's why Dominic Saraceno is the best choice for Niagara Falls City Court Judge. Dominic Saraceno is the only candidate with over 20 years experience as a criminal defense attorney and public defender. He understands how his decisions will help individuals and families and has the courage to address the important issues in Niagara Falls and to make the right decision, even though it may not be the popular decision. On Tuesday, June 22nd, vote Dominic Saraceno for Niagara Falls City Court Judge.
Hey, Western New York, CJ Spiller here, telling everyone to watch Goal Getters live every Friday at 6 p.m., where they'll give you up-to-date sports info. It's a great show, so be sure to leave your comments below. You like how I rhyme with that?
And we're back. Nice commercials there, and the goal getters Friday. Can't wait. There's been a lot of talk about goal getters. There's a few someone out there who was doing I think on local radio brought us up the other day. So that's nice, right?
Notice from so many people. Like
someone said that we just talk about the person said I John's here, but I think I don't remember the quote. Pretty much that we don't talk garbage, we just talk about sports. Mm-hmm. There's no nonsense. Likes us, right? He said it. He even rhymed for us. Holy cow! Anyhow, all right, we're back. Can't wait for Friday. And also, don't forget. Did you see? God, I hope I say his name right. Kevin L. Young, right? He's going to be doing a first time virtual town hall with Gorillas Inc.
Yeah,
next Thursday.
at 7.
And that's going to be fun.
Everybody from Pendleton area.
Yeah. Lockport, right?
Town of Lockport. Definitely tune in. We'll have where you could call in live and ask questions to the person who is running for legislator in a primary against a person who has been in the seat for 14 years. So
Nemi, right?
yeah,
Nemi?
Nemi, yeah.
That's it. Yeah, that'll be good, and it'll be interesting all around Niagara County to see. And you know Kevin from Pendleton, and outspoken, so it'll be really good. Anything new on the message board that we need to know about, or anything?
I got something really quick. Just because I've had a lot ever since last night. Fredo, Jeff Faso. When he said that crap, and he got attacked by so many people, which I want to thank all, my friends and stuff for doing that. My friend just sent me something under my mom, shared a post about Janelle and stuff and Jeff, which, by the way, my mom's defending her daughter. So to somebody like Leah Musante, a weird last name, she goes, I don't care who says what. Janelle is great at being a lawyer, and you, Leah, are great at being a dumbass. Okay? So I hope you're not a mother, because if you are, sorry, I'm going to say it, that's the most trashy thing in the world. Yeah. There you go, and you're going to get called out for being somebody like that. You
don't care what people say. You don't care how much evidence is thrown in your face.
She should be embarrassed.
Like your friend, and you're still going to vote for her.
She should be embarrassed for being trash.
Nonsense.
Yeah. Real quick update. They're still talking at the council meeting, and there's been no vote. There must be a lot of speakers because.
We're on citizen genetics. We're going to go off on you if you the wrong decision.
I know. Oh, I can't wait to hear what this vote's going to be. Well, we'll be on here. I'm hoping we'll find out before we go off the air. But, we don't usually endorse candidates here, ever, except now. And I have to do it. I mean, I wasn't gonna, and then I had to, and we got to. Dominic is just a clear choice.
Right, especially with the situation, what's going on.
He's just a clear choice at this point in time.
Yeah.
That's all.
I'm not giving my opinion on that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't vote in the whole election. I don't know. The Saraceno, obviously, I would vote for if I would not in that area to vote. But I would like to ask Saraceno more questions. In which case, the judge can't answer many of them. So. I don't know, but obviously we can't have Faso win. If Faso wins, you guys are moving.
Well, actually, I'll protest every single day and make this city look like.
Well, think about it though. I mean, if Chris Mazur, we had this discussion last night. If Chris Mazur were to win, he's a decent guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? If Chris Mazur were to win, decent guy. He's going to. He's decent. I mean, I know the bar's low, guys, but it's what we're looking at here.
He's
Decency.
Not Janelle is what it is. He's not Janelle. We just can't have somebody who puts children in danger, tampers with evidence during rape cases.
Yep.
And if anybody thinks, like I said, if anybody thinks we're lying, you can't tell the state police and, DAs and stuff that they're lying with proof and evidence in their hands. So there you go.
Is a person who is so well connected to the established really that good though? I don't know anything about the other candidate besides because he's very quiet, which is probably a smart move.
Why should he speak?
But when you're connected to so many people, and that's probably why you're going to win this election, that's not good either.
No, of course not. But that's all we got is these three, is all I'm saying. And the least connected is probably Dominic. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would assume if you look at it that way, because obviously. The Fossil campaign is letting you know they're connected. They're not hiding. They want you to know they're connected. Right. Chris Mazur obviously is. He's in City Hall. He's been there. He's been the Corporation Council guy for a long time now. Right. So obviously he is. And then there's Dominic, who obviously he's a Republican and he does have people supporting him and stuff. These judicial races are, you know it. Yeah. You just said it. They're a mess. They really are. They're supposed to be above everybody. Yeah. But they're so far. They're actually really a disgrace.
I've seen Jeff Faso tell people on Facebook publicly, we're going to win because we've never lost once, and we're the Fasos.
People on the message board are anxious to hear about Jeff Faso and his.
All right, give us
he's the self-proclaimed best campaign manager
that his sister doesn't mention.
And he is he's really failed. And at this point in time, I think a good campaign manager would say, "I'm throwing in the towel." Yeah. It's lights out.
Yeah, me and him went at it a little bit.
And that was well deserved because you know what? He tried putting up an apology after he got attacked and shown what a piece of shit him and his sister are, and now he wants to apologize. And I'll tell you right now, he will be on either soon or by tonight or tomorrow back at the same shit. Exactly.
He's a mean one.
Mr. Grinch.
Town of Niagara, Jeff Fosso,
Good one.
on Sunnydale Road, was arrested late Thursday for stealing 4 bags of Christmas toys from our East Britain Road home.
I'm sorry, that was so good.
This state police investigator, David Pinnock, said he was also accused of break-ins at 3 other homes, including ones at the home of his father, the town justice, James Fosso, and at his sister's house as well. Please read that again for the people watching. The guy stole Christmas. And they're running for fucking judge.
And
the campaign manager.
Allegedly, and doesn't keep quiet. And you'd think you'd want to keep quiet.
And
that's my point.
Too, Janelle doesn't say.
Dear Lord,
quiet. She doesn't mention his name, but she does, which I don't like. She brought him to. I think it was the Christmas basket hunt thing, and you know what? She knows who he is, what he's done, and.
How could you trust them around them Christmas presents?
Right, handing things out. I don't know. They might be ones that he stole.
Even the Grinch's heart grew a little, didn't it, at some point?
We don't get to that part.
We don't get to that part yet.
It's a lot on Facebook.
Now, he pushed it way too far.
I just don't. I keep saying it. It's driving me nuts. Why would you not have this under control?
Right.
As the candidate, you should have all of this under control. You should not have him saying a damn word at all. Everything should just be. You would know. You know what? You got your brother there who is a judge, so that would be the one you would want. Even I don't even want to talk about what his. He's a judge now. That'd be the one you want to be close to.
Right.
Not this.
You know, so I go after the people who fucking deserve it. But this dude last night with his messages,
and Janelle
Vile.
feeds him this to say.
I want to kill him for Mr. Delzo.
I know. Yes. It's vile. It was vile.
Like, I want, because if that was my daughter right there,
Right, excuse me.
Don't do anything like that. Like,
no, you just, he's... Don't know.
This is ridiculous.
I mean, I'm sure my dad might just knock him for a minute.
It's wrong.
He continued to victimize a victim who is... I've seen the most disgusting shit that I won't even bring up.
He's best friends with Nick D'Angelo. Like that's it. He's best friends, and then he tries to say, "Oh, you know what? Though, a lot of the stuff he said, Janelle told him to say. Like those are only things that would come out of Janelle's mouth." And he was at her house on Sunnydale Drive when they were when he was doing this stuff. Caught.
So, I was just gonna say your mom just made that point on the message board. Gail Del Zappo, for anybody that doesn't know, that's Noel's mom. And she said also Jeff Fosso is on parole and he's on Facebook harassing people. What's wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
It's aggravated.
And Noel's dad, Jerry Del Zappo, said after what he did last night, game on.
Of course. Yep. Yeah, because it was so overboard.
Oh. No, and I could promise you, they're not going to get put in jail if he knocks you right in the face. So
that apology is because I think, was all because he knows
his sister lost votes from it,
and he knows that they might be coming. You never know what he did might revoke his parole because it was that bad. I mean, it was ridiculous.
They revoked his parole before. Maybe that was maybe he was on parole at that time.
Revoked?
I wonder if he was with D'Angelo picking up.
I think so.
So there was a crime there for prostitution, and patronizing a person for prostitution in the 3rd degree. So this person isn't even a prostitute, and they're trying to make him one.
I've been told sex trafficking that's what I've been told by quite a few people, that sex trafficking is possibly involved with that family, and I'll tell you right now, I would have no doubt in my mind with that.
You got something, Robin?
Yeah. Tiffany Palacci on the message board said, I saw an article where Jeff Fredo Fosso took some kind of contractor job, took $1,500 down payment because he needed money for supplies, and completely stiffed.
Yeah. But you want Jeff Fredo, Jeff, you really want to go there with us when your history, I mean, and that's only things that we're showing. So this is what you get. Janelle, get your dog on a leash at this point.
You know what the guy said to me last night? After I brought up the whole fucking Grinch and the Christmas present.
Oh, no. What did he say?
He said to me last night, he called me a piece of shit, and he said, Wayne, everybody makes mistakes, yes.
I know, that was the worst.
People do make mistakes.
Sure.
However, if you continuously make so many mistakes, you become a douchebag.
Yeah.
is a douchebag. There's non-stop mistakes
Yeah.
that are happening, and what you did last night, there was a million mistakes done in one night.
Oh,
I've had
yeah,
so many people message me that I've never spoken to that were actually going to vote for her, and they said they see it all, like that was so disgusting, and they're done. Like there will never be that because of him, and they deserve it. Because I mean, there's one thing he said specifically that he would never say unless that came out of Janelle's mouth, and I've seen proof of where Janelle has said that before. So he's sitting there with her in her driveway at her house as this is continuing, and
which for a fact.
Yeah.
It's not a guess. You know this for a fact.
Yeah, a friend of mine lives around the block or something. They seen what was going on, and as they were driving, I guess they took a picture and a video and said, "Oh my God, look at this."
That's the thing they don't understand. There's so many eyes on them
At
now
the house she
because
doesn't live at.
yeah, they got eyes on them, man, and it's their own fault because they look at
And driving past my house.
Yeah, all the things in the back, all of the problems in the past. I feel like they have purposely wanted to bring up. I mean, look at all the eyes on them now. Look at ours. I mean, look what we're doing.
Yeah.
Look what we're doing tonight. Look at what you just said. Someone just for you, on your behalf, without you even knowing, decided, hey, screw this. I'm going to go see, and they did it.
I've had multiple neighbors just within the past say, I can confirm they are not good people. She is a drunk.
This is the most mismanaged campaign I've ever seen. This is outrageous. Yeah. I mean, you want to lose.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this. You've got a guy that is out of control, and you just let him keep going.
Yeah.
And don't even have any. You have missed this campaign is without a doubt in all of the ones I've ever seen the most mismanaged thing ever. It's sloppy.
Messy, sloppy.
Very sloppy.
None of these people should be in any position that they are in.
No.
We talk about the other Faso with when he got released from the Niagara County SPCA euthanizations.
And I heard that he was doing it
good
very
source.
Inhumanely. Good source that he was stabbing the cats.
Well, not him personally, or did he have people doing it? I mean, either way, he directed it.
Right. Yeah, he was in charge, and it was happening, and he was aware of it.
Right.
Because that was cheaper than you.
And that's another thing you can Google, and you can read all the articles.
There's another thing you can Google.
So here we go.
Big Mom.
Rosemary Messer. So this is
who is this?
Sister-in-law that's been running.
On the She is on the
Animal Cruelty Registry for Niagara County. And you know what? I think this is the only one in New York State, because there was a big deal about the fact that Niagara County actually has one, and he made the list.
Yeah.
Animal cruelty. She's the one, I think, outside the fundraiser, tried to get mouthy and call the cops. Like, you know what? I'm going to say, I'm not. All I'm going to say is I don't think you guys kind of really knew how I was back in the day, so I don't get mouthy. That's all I'm saying, because I'm trying to, not get mouthy back, and it's getting very hard.
Well,
you guys are such criminals.
Once again, man, I'm going to keep saying it. I don't know what the plan was. I wish at the end when this has to be stopped, and the referee comes in and like TKO and it's over. I'd love to get that autopsy on this, because I look at John, you'll like this, and Wade and Rob, all you guys will. It was like my poor Maple Leafs when they get beat. They were up 3-1 again, and they get beat, right? And you could see it coming. Like they lose games 5. I knew what's coming. It's coming, and they don't change. So there was an autopsy on the team. I'd love this autopsy. I want to know what they were thinking, right? What the hell? I like political campaigns. I do when they're run right, and Wade, you ran a great one yourself, and you did it. I know. Well, right, everyone else
is following the rules, but her.
But Wade, you ran a great one. I think you did. You did it on your own. You didn't take anyone's money. You did it yourself. You even got yourself, and you knew that chances were, because of the party you're in. You got to go up against the establishment. You're going to have a hard time to win it, but you're in it to win. But you're going to lose, but you're going to get yourself out there. And I watched you on that debate, and I said many times, that was outstanding. What a great debate. You were ready. They weren't. Those two people. And then she wins. Okay, because of where she, connections and all that, and the Democratic Party. Think about what you're watching here. I mean, there is ways of mitigating issues, right? Like, a lot of people run with baggage. They do.
Yeah.
But they don't like friggin' just like want to. The last thing they would do is like just here you go. I'm going to show it to you. And you know what? I'm not only going to show it to you. I'm not apologizing for it.
It makes me crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, that's it, man. This is it. Look I don't give a goddamn. And I'm going to tell this girl that comes out here after all this time, going through all this trauma, that I'm going to sue her.
It makes me cringe when I see one
it's
person
insane.
say, Janelle's great. Oh, you know what? You're trash. You're trash is what. And the people who are supporting that, you're trash. And I'm going to say, and that's me being nice, because it's just disgusting. People are trying to come forward about what's happened to them. It's bad stuff that happened to them by these people. And you just have somebody say, nope, I didn't do that. But then you see proof and evidence, and all of a sudden, right, what's that? That doesn't matter anymore?
Speaking of proof and evidence, you go back in the 1st of July, 2020. You know you're ready to run an election in 6 months. You know your married last name is Messer.
Oh, I think I came out before then, too.
So you go and change your name on that day. And to Faso, obviously, because you want that name running.
She could have hyphenated her name.
Yeah.
Well, you're still married.
Right, and you could just, if you wanted to throw Fossil, right, you could have went, like people do that. They could have been Fossil Messer, you could even went Messer Fossil, but you know, why take it away?
Like what a slap in
Why
the
just
face.
take it away? Like, why wouldn't you just hyphenate?
Right.
Yeah,
Like-
because she knows.
Right.
We could easily look up the name Messer. That's the reason she knows that.
Right.
What is so disgusting, she continues to say that she has no part of Nick D'Angelo.
Right.
Never, nothing like that. But let's slap some more proof in your face.
You know what else is disgusting is the fact that she hides from the name Messer and thinks that the name Faso is so good
Right.
after what they're carrying on doing.
Right.
And allowing everyone to see.
Yeah,
Right.
right in plain sight for everyone.
And you can see how unprofessional she is just by the way she answered the question that my mom asked her that day.
Yes.
Live. She goes, so, like, okay, what, are you going to get pissed off when you're a judge too and somebody says something that you don't like and tries telling the truth, and what are you going to do? So, and
That's
then
the
lie?
temperament, yep.
Dang.
The image that's up on your screen
Yeah.
right now is the connection to D'Angelo, who was the attorney who signed off on changing the name from Messer to Faso.
Serial rapist up on 12 rape charges, including a minor, tampering with evidence, witnesses, and obstruction, plus more.
So please, once again, tell us how he has nothing to do with your campaign or anything like that.
Or how are you just tenants in the same building? That's
Yeah,
a
that's
good
the
one.
thing I've always heard, yeah. And now let's swing it over a little bit real quick to Nick. I mean, he gets the funny thing is, wherever he is, he's probably he should also be smiling because they've taken the attention off of him in a lot of ways. Think about it. Oh, there he is. Look at him. And
Dollar Tree version. Somebody said the Dollar Tree version of Frank. What is his name? Frank Vandero. And it was,
the dollar. I love when people are the dollar. I say that all the time.
something like that. Oh, James Franco. That's it.
I
James
say that all the
Franco.
time. Dollar.
Yeah, that was great.
And so there he is. And we know all the charges. And we know there's more
And
waiting.
we know there's more, and that's only what, just kind of like the Janelle thing. That's why we speak about, because we know more because we're behind the stuff. Like we see the stuff behind the scenes. So this is just what you guys see.
Even the fake news calls it extremely disturbing.
Yeah.
This is way more than extremely disturbing. It touches to so many people.
Yeah, and there he is. And like I said, he's been left out a little bit, just because of all the chaos that this campaign has been causing.
That he's running, by the way.
Yeah.
He runs Janelle Faso's campaign in that page. Faso for city court judge. Proof and evidence of that too, but
and so there he is, and we know either Friday or Thursday, whenever it is, he's going to be in court and talking about, I think, trying to separate the cases.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't, because
I
that's
hope
a
they don't
mess.
either.
If they separate those cases, we know
Judge Clark
what that
would be
means.
the most. That would be so.
That's intimidation attempts, from what I understand. Because
Yeah,
they'll try
that
to.
is.
Because they'll show the other victims, hey, look what we're going to do to this
Yeah.
one, and
That's
whoever the
just
first one
disgusting.
is going to be attacked
Right.
relentlessly.
That's just disgusting, especially with all the proof they have of him trying to, tell the victims, what to say and do if they were ever questioned by the police. Like, are you kidding me? He should have been locked up that day.
He's out on an ROR. I have this up there.
Yeah,
where
look at it.
Look at all there's
ROR.
victims here where there's all these terrible, terrible things that this guy did. How the hell is he ROR? Tomorrow, if it's not tomorrow, the next day, whenever that day is.
I hope it's revoked.
I mean, the guy should be in prison. But
Right there.
I think the only thing that could possibly happen to him is bail. And he'll bail himself out. He's got the
Right.
money.
If it'll be like 1,000. It'll be small too, I bet you. Yeah, he should be awaiting trial in the county jail. It's very simple.
But he's out
like
here
That's
still
what
hurting
happened to
people.
you
All of
or
us.
me or
yeah, they would have probably had a quick trial and took us.
Yeah. I mean, he's still hurting people too. He's still threatening and hurting people till this day, and it's like,
and intimidating
Yeah.
victims and witnesses.
it must be nice to have special treatment and be able to break.
Judge Klotch said something that I'll never forget listening to what he said about it. That he came in a respectable lawyer and he'll come back a respectable lawyer. That's why I didn't put bail on him.
But what happened to the guy who walked in that day respectful
Right.
and then left? In
the county jail. Probably,
right. Well, I mean, they're not respectful. They're disgusting human beings.
Right.
But he had
Right.
rape, one victim and 3 charges, and was held without bail, which he deserved. But Nick was no better.
And Nick then, and then I think he forgets, and I don't know, I'm not a lawyer, but I mean, I could play one right here.
He should be lawyers.
But like he has to be there's something about being to the community, like being a detriment, being a danger to the community, and I would assume that a guy like him should be seen as that,
And then
as
I
a
have
danger.
to sit here, and he doesn't live far from me.
Right, he's a danger to yes.
Yeah. And he's had people park in front of my house, all that shit. And he's.
I believe he followed me home after the protest.
Oh yeah, he was at Janelle's fundraiser, circling.
Around circling numerous times. We've seen that.
Yeah.
There was a car that looked very similar. I think same year, make, model.
And it's the only car in the falls like that. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's I don't know what to say, man. You got to be kidding me. I've always misdemeanor for Messer and ROR for this guy. I just can't believe it. I don't know.
That
It's
should be like
speechless.
the heading of a book, misdemeanor.
And
For
some
Yeah.
of some of the stuff that we have proof of, where one of the victims came out and spoke, and basically I saw on a thread that you made a post on Nicholas D'Angelo, and I too was raped by him in 2016. He is an absolute threat to society, and I appreciate women like you stepping up and calling him out on his actions. Yes, Noel, awesome.
Right, of course.
So many people have,
Yes.
now are speaking out because they've seen that they can. They've seen how strong you were.
Yes.
But what really gets me here on these message threads is basically talking about an investigator and how I was not on that. The girl responds how she wasn't actually on a date. She was actually on a date, and he raped me on the side of the road in his car, and then refused to drop me back off to me. And you know what? This is what's like it turns my stomach. D'Angelo said, "Hey, at least you got a free coffee out of it."
Yeah. And you know what? What's sickening is so many of these victims that came forward that he can't even say which one from the years and stuff, because there's been multiple people he's raped inside of cars. Like, that's like a thing for him too, and it's like, it's just sick. It's sick.
It's sick.
But he's not a danger and should be put away right now. He shouldn't be put away.
Just be in the county jail awaiting trial, man. It's normal. That's what happens to a lot of people.
Yep.
I know they're, but they're indicted. I mean, this is indicted, and seriously, I mean, those you just don't get indicted.
No.
Like, you just don't. You get what I mean? Like, they just don't hand out indictments.
Yeah.
Right.
And grand juries and all this stuff. You just don't hand them out.
And the DA, even John Flynn, if you see the video, he said, like, they were fighting because they thought he was a flight risk, which he is. They were trying to tell this judge, and there's much proof and evidence as to why he's a flight risk. And so you take his passport so he could just drive to a different state or have somebody come pick him up?
Yeah, no, it's just...
Go to Arizona?
I can't even imagine an RO being... without even a bail. I mean, because at least if it's let's say it's a high bail, at least they'll cuff him up. They'll bring him to the county jail till he makes sure he can get his money. You know what I mean? At least spend a second or two in there. Nope.
I've heard he even had the cops called on him already from threatening people.
But I'll tell you this, though. It's going to be one hell of a surprise when that guy ends up in prison. You know what I mean? It's going to be one. It's going to happen. It's got to happen. It has to happen. I mean, you just can't. It wouldn't be right, man. It has to happen. You know what? I know we're getting close to the end, and I still don't have a vote here yet on what happened in that city council meeting. Hopefully, we will before we sign off. But I want to talk about something that happened to me this morning that was really cool. And it has to do with sexual assault, sexual abuse survivors, and all that. Well, anyways. There's something called the Adult Survivors Act, and New York State Senate passed it. And what it is legislation that will create a 1-year window for adult victims to charge the perpetrator civilly, kind of like the Child Victims Act. But now it's for adults. Love it, great thing. But we need to get it through the assembly. And Assemblyman Morinello called me today, and he is signing on. He's going to support this in the assembly, and that's great.
And that's huge.
That's outstanding. Yep, outstanding. It's a Republican too. It's great because this is a Democrat bill, and it's outstanding. So he's going to support that.
We appreciate this.
Oh, absolutely for that.
Big time.
Now the Child Victims Act, we've gone back and forth on text. Now the Child Victim Act, remember, is the same thing, but the problem is there's this issue where lawyers will not take cases that aren't big money cases, that the person that is the perpetrator,
right.
Not big money. Robin has gone through that, went through several lawyers until Paul Barr stepped up. But going through all those lawyers, she has to tell her story over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's
makes her cry, gets her upset continually. So anyways, Paul Barr steps in, thank God. But a lot of people don't have a Paul Barr.
Right.
So what happens is there is a bill called number S2E8, and that's in the Senate. Now that is a really good bill because it's going to it's asking New York State to set up a legal fund for those victims that can't, because it's they're unfortunately for them, the pedophile didn't make a good living, or maybe it's just an average wages, so they there's going to be this fund by New York State, hopefully, that will help those people pay their legal fees, so that way the lawyers, and this is kind of disgusting on the lawyers,
I had to
but
pay $13,000 for just, even I wasn't even a child victim, but still $13,000
to go ahead.
This is what happens.
So this thing here, it would be great because, and then they're going to have it where corporations can give called a gift for the Child Victims Foundation Fund, and these corporations can contribute their tax refund to support the fund, or maybe half their tax refund.
Awesome.
So Assemblyman Morinello is looking into that too, and we're going to talk about that when he comes back from Albany and stuff. So I'm really happy.
That's awesome.
I generally don't feel happy about any of my elected officials around here.
Right.
I usually don't. I don't. I feel like it's all just nothing. And this was great.
Coming from him, that's
came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
feel like he really represented the people that he's supposed to represent by doing this. Like,
And
I really feel
he
like
knows
he
it.
stood up and took a big step
Yeah.
by being in the minority and still
Saying it.
saying it and supporting it because it's the right thing to do.
I think he sees too, from being around here and stuff. He sees how bad that's needed.
Yeah,
Right.
this place is it's what you'd call beyond an epidemic, right? I mean, it's just the amount of people in Niagara County and Niagara Falls that are coming forward in
Those
this.
schools too, the teachers in the schools.
Jeez, and that hasn't even begun yet.
Yeah.
Those things
Yeah.
haven't even gotten, because that's another thing about this Child Victims Act and these other acts is the court is so filled because of COVID that I'm a little concerned, and I'm hoping that maybe Assemblyman Morinello will think maybe when I talk to him, this has to be extended, the Child Victims Act. Like there can't be. I wish there would be no time limit. Like
Right.
let's make this a permanent thing of all time.
Because I had
As
a
it
child
stands
victim.
right now, it expires in August.
I think of this August, and it did get extended a year. Remember?
Right, yeah.
But August is coming, and that isn't good. We
Well,
don't
I just
want
had
to.
a victim of Nick's that was underage come to me yesterday and say, I don't know what I can do. I was underage at the time, so it was so long ago. I don't know how much help I can be, and it sucks to say, well, you have till August, but so hopefully that can change.
And sometimes, man, like I said, and I don't generally like my elected officials. Not that I don't like them personally, I just don't like it. I want them not associated with these parties. I'd like them to be a different, independent types or whatever. And I have to say, this time I'm pleasantly surprised. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm happy. We're all happy here because, I
Especially
think
for you and Robin, what you guys have been through.
Gorillas Inc., obviously this show, all the shows, we support victims here. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, that's our thing. And we always will. And what I'd like to do someday, before we get to the numbers, because I know we're running over time, someday what I want to do, guys, I'd like to do this, Wade, is when we finally put a lot of this stuff to away and to bed, like all this stuff that's going on, I would love to get in to either Mr. somebody with Mornell's ear or someone's ear about going forward, trying to change these statutes of limitations on these rape victims, because Robin should be able to go after that guy criminally.
Yep.
And this is garbage. Because I
bullshit.
don't care if you did it I don't care if you're 90 years old and you did it in 1940, you should still get it.
A rapist is still a rapist, and I think we all know once they do it, that's just how they think. They won't stop.
And once you recognize your trauma and you decide to own it and do something about it, and then you go and they say, well, it's too late for you to bring about criminal charges, but you can bring about civil charges.
Yeah.
So you go to civil court just because you want some recourse, and people call you a money grabber.
Right. all
Not
kinds of
even
names.
knowing
Yeah,
that, these people have came forward when they were children, tried telling somebody.
Right. There's no amount of money that could compensate me for what I've lost out on in my life.
Right.
Yeah, and so many people are in that same boat, man.
I mean, it affects you, especially, Robin, not just, physically and mentally. So it's like...
losing decades of people's lives.
Yeah.
Almost like they were in prison.
Look at poor Kay. She had to, hide and go out of state.
Have
for
no
so
more
long.
friends.
Yeah.
Had to lose friends. Had to do all that thing as a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's messed up, and we all know it. And that's what's screwed up. The pedophile, the rapist, they do everything. And here's the other thing, when they get caught, that wasn't their first time. We know that. And a lot of times, it's all about opportunity. They're not. And actually, you know what? The Niagara Falls Reporter, a long time ago when it was good, they did a series on pedophiles, because there was a bunch and Niagara Falls likes to bring pedophiles in, so they did a thing where they talked to 3 pedophiles that were trying to allegedly change their life. And the one pedophile said this, I'm sorry for what I did, but I can't stop.
Yep.
And I can't be on a computer. I really can't be on the internet. I can't be looking at child pornography. But I know I can't stop, so I actually wish they'd castrate me, he said. And he said, I can't stop. I mean, think about that. He knows he can't. That's why, you know what? Child pornography is a big freaking deal.
Yeah.
And it's not a joke. When you're watching child pornography, you're watching children being exploited right in front of you. And that, what you're doing is, not whatever you're doing, but you're also... You're making it continue to happen because you're watching. Just like views for anything, they'd stop making it if you weren't viewing it.
Right.
And so, all right, we got to get out of here. Oh, go ahead. Yes, sure.
Just real quick,
Sure.
I just want to recognize John Jackson.
Okay.
In the chat room, said Dennis Gully, convicted rapist,
Yes.
serial pedophile, is still walking the streets. The black community always turns a blind eye. It's weird. The rapist is protected.
15 victims, right?
And she was brave enough to come forward and say, "This is Valerie Smith."
Val is a real tough survivor, man.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of. Think about, we know her story,
Yeah.
and we know how long it's been in her. I mean, this is decades of this stuff.
What
I mean,
happens
we
when she
wanted to
comes
bring-
forward? Harassed.
Yeah.
Right, and when she came forward, she got harassed. Right,
By her family.
they attacked
by-
her.
Yeah, by...
And guess what? Think about that, decades.
Right.
And you want to know why people are angry? You want to know why? It's like being an adult. I mean, I think about it. It's like when they beat, it sounds terrible, when you beat an animal up and you keep them in a cage. I mean, you have lost, people have lost decades of their life.
Yeah.
And then they're going to, please. That's the thing with Kay, and why this whole thing is so ridiculous that they wouldn't have just be quiet.
Yeah.
The girl comes out to frickin' change her
Let her
life,
vent.
to have a better life.
Let her vent.
That's all it is. Yeah, let her vent. Let her talk. Let her have something.
And I hate
you
to throw
took
this
it all
out-
anyways.
And I hate
Yeah.
to throw this out there too, but then you see, with Val's situation and the guy who was harassing her, and for coming forward instead
Right.
of standing by her side, is praising Janelle Faso for,
Right.
she's probably a bad person, but she gets me out of trouble.
That's enough. Yeah, I can't
can't.
take it. All right, we should probably go around the room, right? This is our normal day here. John, you got anything back there? Final words?
Just hope for the best for everybody. Get through this and good luck to Noel, and hope everything works out.
Yeah, and you'll be ready Friday.
Sure will.
All right. Robin, anything? Any last words for the folks?
I mean, I have a ton that I could say.
Yeah, you got to keep it. Come on.
But I'm just going to make it real brief because I think
Bruins and Islanders are... No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, the highlight for me is Assemblyman Morinello. And I just want to tell him from victims throughout his district, thank you for standing up for us. Thank you for truly representing us in the Assembly. And this is what more people in politics should take a look at what Assemblyman Morinello is doing and work for what's right instead of for what's popular in your party.
Right.
Wade.
I'm going to say thank you, Noel, for coming on.
Thank you.
Kay, for telling your story last week. We'll definitely be seeing you soon. And I'm hopeful that whether it's Thursday or Friday, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I know it's unlikely, but I'm hoping that Nick D'Angelo goes to jail with no and the judge actually does what they're supposed to do. And if that is the case, and I know it's unlikely, but so I could say it, big pizza party on my
Yeah, definitely.
We need to basically show how this is needed. This is needed for the victims, the countless amount, the people that keep on coming forward. We're here with you, even though some people might be against you. If you want to come speak out, you have the floor here.
Yeah. Noel?
Like Robin said, I could say a million things right now, but basically, if I want to say, I know his court date's coming up, but if you are a victim still of Nick D'Angelo's, or actually even Hugh Messer at this point, but if you are a victim, it's really not too late to come forward at all. You can get a hold of me, and I, will keep your name quiet, all of that. It doesn't matter how long ago it was. It doesn't matter if, even if he just said something inappropriate to you, just we'll help you out. And for all the people, especially with Janelle supporting that, even if you don't believe it and you want to believe Janelle's a good person, just shut your mouth and do not sit there and make people feel any worse about what those people did to them that already happened. Just shut your mouth and see what happens. That's it. And thank you guys for allowing me to speak on this show and come forward about everything.
Oh, absolutely. And for me, next week we have Bill Kennedy here. He'll be live in studio with us. Now my final words, and then I'm going to read our numbers off because they're important.
In here.
I hope this is the last time we have this show. Not because it's not because I'll keep doing them. I don't care. I'll keep doing them. But when I say that is, I mean that maybe there's a turn.
Right.
Maybe you're right. Something happens on Thursday or Friday, whatever it is. Just some positive, we go in the right direction. So maybe we can stop having to, and have to keep doing. Can you imagine when the day comes when this is over and you can delete all the garbage and and we can just go on, because it's done and people are paying the price they deserve to pay.
Yeah, because we got somebody who's hurting
Because the survivors are paying the price every day for the rest of their lives.
Yep.
No matter what you do,
have been in prison more than anyone else is survivors, and because you've had to live in your own head, and take decades off and just say, oh, you know what, I'm unavailable. And then whatever, man. You know what? Let me read the numbers, Wade, because this could go forever because it's so freaking disgusting. It pisses me off. All right, the YWCA is a outstanding and just an incredible place. 433-6714. In the area, in the 716 area code. But if you're watching this outside of the 716 area code, which I know we do get that, you have them everywhere. Just look up YWCA. They're in every almost county in the country. I mean, and we've learned that, Robin, through women you've talked to in Ohio, and we've hooked them up there. The YWCA, they have counselors that will counsel you at home, and they're, you can just stay home, and they'll call you and do counseling with you for an hour. They have Zoom calls with other victims, so you can feel good about talk to other victims that understand. They have advocates that'll go to the hospital with you, go to court with you, go anywhere you need with you. Awesome. YWCA is great. 433-6714, all day, every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And remember, if you're not in 716, just look it up in your county and they'll be there for you. Don't forget mental illness and just, mental illness, but also sometimes it's depression anything can happen that makes you feel bad or makes you feel upset. Suicidal thoughts, any of that stuff. PTSDs, anxieties, panics, 1-800-662-4357. That number there is there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're there to talk to you anytime, at all, and they can get you somewhere locally to help you. One thing I want to say about the why too, and I forgot real quick. If you are the loved one of someone who's been hurt, if you are anything like that, and you need to learn and figure out, geez, what's the mindset? Why does it take so long for them to come forward? That kind of stuff. I did it. I called the why, and those people helped me understand. And once you get to understand the mindset, it really makes sense. And so do it if you need to.
You did it. I could tell.
Yeah. Do it. If a loved one of yours has been hurt. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday. Bill Kennedy will be with us.